Hey, what's good, guys? Clutch here and Timmy here, back in another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans. I'm just going to be pretty much talking about the draft and probably what's going to happen with the number 1 and number 2 picks and whatnot. And just pretty much to reiterate, the Alabama quarterback Bryce Young will be a Houston Texan. And I mean, it's pretty much obvious at this point. I feel like the Panthers have already made their decision, and I think they made their decision prior to trading up for the number 1 pick. I mean, it really doesn't make sense for them to trade up to number 1 with let's trade up and see who we're going to get. I don't think it's a 49ers type of situation. I believe it was Adam Schefter that tweeted it out that, hey, it's pretty much like a Niners situation. They're going to trade up. They're going to evaluate the quarterbacks. It's either going to be like a Mac Jones or like a Justin Fields or, of course, Trey Lance, with who they ended up pretty much going with. But for the Carolina Panthers situation, I feel like it's going to be much, much more different, or it is pretty much more different. I think they are already locked in on CJ Stroud. With them going to all these pro days and to the combine and talking to all these guys and whatnot in the meetings and the top 30 visits and whatnot, I feel like it's pretty much just to confirm that their guy is CJ Stroud. I feel like they think their guy is CJ Stroud. They pretty much know that they want CJ Stroud. They're fascinated with him. They were fascinated with his tape, with his persona, and all of that. But they're meeting with all these other guys. They're meeting with Bryce Young. They're meeting with Will Levis. They're meeting with Anthony Richardson for pretty much confirmation that their guy is CJ Stroud. They're going in there to see what's the differential between those guys and that they trust the CJ Stroud pick enough. And I feel like they probably think CJ Stroud's the safer pick between all the quarterbacks. I mean, all of the quarterbacks have their little issue, you know. CJ Stroud, he's not the guy to take off a run, at least as much as a Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson, of course. But he will beat with his arm. He's a very talented arm. He can make every throw in the NFL, every throw on every level. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. We saw it against Georgia. Obviously, he can run when needed, as we saw against Georgia. But he's not going to do it as much as Anthony Richardson. And Bryce Young, we all know his problem. I mean, it's his size. He's not the biggest of guys. He's pretty small. I mean, he doesn't weigh barely 200 pounds. What is he, 5'10 and a half or something? And Will Levis, I mean, he likes mayo in his coffee. That should be enough. I mean, I don't know. He's a 6'3 quarterback. He's already going to be 23, 24 or something like that. His age is an issue. The style of offense is a very good factor for him. He ran a very NFL ready / pro style offense, but I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff with Will Levis that I probably wouldn't take him. Even in the top, maybe pick number 10, I don't even think I would touch them. So Carolina, I think they're just meeting with those guys to have confirmation that, yes, CJ Stroud is the guy that we traded up for. And when you're giving up all those assets to move up to number 1, you're not going to move up with hey, let's go and see which guy we like most. Because what if you end up not liking any of them? You have to know which guy you're going to like to move up for a guy. You're not, especially if it's number 1. If it's number 3, you're probably trading up just to see, you're going to end up with the guy that's left. And you're just okay with that. I mean, you have that okayness that, hey, we'll be okay if it's a Will Levis or Anthony Richardson at 3 with Stroud and Bryce Young going at 1 and 2. But they didn't do that. They traded up to number 1, and it was for a specific guy. No team is going to give up that amount of assets to go and say, hey, again, as I said, hey, let's go see which guy we like more. Let's go talk to all of them, and we'll take the guy that we like the most. It's not like that. It's going to be the guy that they know they like, that they watch the film on. They know they like the film. They like the persona in the meetings. And Josh McCown, the quarterback coach for Carolina, he really, really, really likes CJ Stroud. He did a film breakdown on CJ Stroud with another guy. I forgot who the guy's name was, but it was on YouTube. I mean, you could probably go find it pretty easily. It was Josh McCown breaking down CJ Stroud's film, and he kept talking about how much he loves CJ Stroud, how he thinks he's the best quarterback in the draft. And I mean, if Carolina's quarterback coach is saying that, or is he quarterback coach or is he offensive coordinator? He's quarterback coach because Thomas Brown is offensive coordinator. So yeah, the QB coach, Josh McCown, he's really, really fascinated with CJ Stroud. And I'm sure the Carolina Panthers knew that when they were hiring Josh McCown. They probably hired him for an exact reason. And I feel like it's pretty obvious. So that's going to leave Bryce Young to fall to the Houston Texans. And I think that's a perfect scenario. I feel like Bryce Young is probably the top quarterback on Houston's radar. It's been talked about by multiple Houston guys. Some verified sources, some not. I mean, just some talk on Twitter that he's probably their top guy. But I mean, I feel pretty confident that he is, and I feel pretty confident that he's going to but that he's going to be there at number 2. And it's a very good outcome for the Houston Texans. You're going to walk out of the draft with your franchise quarterback at number 2, with your signal caller of the future, and you still have a pick at number 12, which is still in the top half of the first round. So, I mean, not only do you get your quarterback of the future, but you also get your pick at maybe like a Miles Murphy or like a Jackson Smith and Jigba or something like that. Or you could just trade back and get more picks if you want. But I feel like the Texans have a very, very good chance this draft to come out looking like a brand new team. I mean, obviously with all these draft picks, you're going to look like a brand new team, but like a brand new team that has a future, that has a focus on what they want to do, a brand new head coach in DeMeco Ryans, a young guy, that these guys know what they want to do in the future, obviously, when their goal is going to be to win a Super Bowl. But yeah, let me know what y'all guys think. I feel, again, just like a breakdown of the video, I feel like it's should be pretty common knowledge, and it should be pretty obvious that the Panthers are probably going to be going CJ Stroud. I would probably say it's like a 97% chance at this point. 3% that they take Bryce Young. I mean, yes, that's pretty much nothing, but that's just how I feel. And that's pretty much how Las Vegas feels with their odds and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like Bryce Young's going to fall to number 2, but let me know what y'all guys think. But it's been Clutch TV Entertainment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.